Hi guys, this is me Twinkle and I welcome you back to the discussion of the questions of the week. I hope you guys are doing great. You are all fit and fantastic and your preparations have been going good. Like you all know that we are tapping the topics of current importance through these questions. So without wasting any time and causing any further delay, let us start with question number 1 here. Question number 1 says that which of the following is correct regarding the Land for Life award. So basically we are talking about this Land for Life award, right? Now, statement number 1 says it is an award program of the International Union for Conservation of Nature, IUCN. Second says it is given to most diverse change makers engaged in land restoration and conservation through exemplary and innovative initiatives. Third says that it is conferred every year. It is conferred every year to the most deserving organization in the field of conservation of nature. The last statement is none of the above. Okay. So, we will mark the correct answer. Firstly, let us understand about this Land for Life award. So, this is basically an award of the United Nations Convention to Combat Desertification, that is UNCCD. It is designed to reward impactful holistic approaches and practices that is actually addressing ecological and social aspects of sustainable land management as a means of achieving land degradation neutrality. It is conferred every 2 years. Okay. In the question, one of the statements said that it is conferred every year, so automatically that statement is eliminated, right? Now, what is the scene is that about 2.5 million saplings have been planted since the last 15 years with active participation of the students and the desert dwellers under familial forestry. Now, you need to understand what is familial forestry. And that is why this initiative was given the Land for Life award in the year 2021. Now, the Land for Life award is given to most diverse change makers engaged in land restoration and conservation through exemplary and innovative initiatives. That is why familial forestry, it was an exemplary and it was also at the same time an innovative initiative. That is why it was conferred with the Land for Life award. Let us understand about this familial forestry initiative, okay? So, familial forestry initiative is like, it means that caring for tree as a family member, okay, so that the tree becomes a part of the family's consciousness. Just like we adopt pets, we adopt pet, you know, and we take care of it, we nurture it, and in the similar manner, a tree is adopted and is treated as a family member and becomes a part of the family's consciousness, and ultimately it is giving advantage to the environment, right? And familial forestry is about treating the tree as one of the family members. I hope you remember about this initiative, right? Now, we will go back to the question and mark the correct answer. I hope the answer would have been clear to you by now. So, it is nothing to do with IUCN like we saw. It was something to do with UNCCD, right? So, this statement is wrong. Second says it is given to most diverse change makers engaged in land restoration and conservation through exemplary and innovative initiative, and familial forestry is one such initiative. Remember that familial forestry is one such initiative, and that is why it was conferred with this award. Statement B is the right answer, right? C is incorrect because we know it is given every year, whereas it is conferred every 2 years. Okay. And third was none of the above. This is wrong, this is wrong. B is the correct answer, okay. Question number 2 here says that which of the following assistance is provided by Asian Development Bank ADB to its members, right? Whether it is the assistance is in the form of loans, technical assistance, grants, equity investments, or all of the above or some of the above. We will decide about the correct answer by the following given codes. But firstly, let us understand why this question is here, okay, and secondly, we will understand about the ADB banks. Let us understand the context of this question. So, recently what has happened is there is this ADB Outlook which was released, okay, ADB Outlook 2022. That is Asian Development Outlook, ADO 2022, that was released, and that is why this question has been in news, okay. Now, let us understand something about ADB and what is the objective of Asian Development Banks. If we know about ADB, we understand that the aim of ADB is social development by reducing poverty in the Asia Pacific with inclusive growth, sustainable growth and regional integration, right? The Asian Development Bank ADB envisions a prosperous, inclusive, resilient and sustainable Asia and the Pacific with sustaining its efforts to eradicate extreme poverty in the region, right? Now we know that Asia Pacific region has a lot of achievement. It has been growing very well. The growth of the region has been commendable, but at the same time we are tackling with the issue of poverty, right? Now despite the region's many successes, like I told you, it remains home to large number of world's poor, okay? 263 million living on less than $1.90 a day, and 1.1 billion are surviving on less than $3.20 a day. That is why we are tackling with this issue of poverty, and ADB Bank is assisting such nations to overcome the issue of poverty. The ADB Bank is assisting the nations of Asia Pacific region to overcome the issue of poverty, right? Now ADB assists its members and partners by providing loans. Make a note that ADB, that is Asian Development Banks, actually gives low cost loans, okay, to the businesses and governments. Also, it is inclined at investing and lending where it sees that the maximum of social and economic development can be brought. So wherever there is maximum or the greatest social and economic development, so ADB readily invests or lends wherever there is greatest social and economic development, right? So it is investing and lending in forms of loans, technical assistance, grants, equity investments to promote social and economic development, right? I hope this is all clear to you about the ADB, that is Asian Development Banks. Let us go and mark the right answer now. So like I told you, the assistance provided by ADB to its members is in the form of loans. Yes, this is the right answer. In the form of technical assistance, this is true. Grants, yes. Equity investments, yes. So all four assistance is given by ADB to the members, okay? So option D becomes the correct option, 1, 2, 3 and 4. Starting with question number 3 here. Question number 3 says that what do you understand by the term counter-cyclical capital buffer? Now this is CCCB, triple CB, we are talking about this year. Whether it is a decrease in the value of an asset over time due to wear and tear, whether it is the policy of a government by which it adjusts the tax rates and spending level to influence the national economy, whether it is an account that a bank holds on behalf of another bank, the funds in this account are for foreign counterparts, or the third one says it is a part of Basel III norms and is calculated as a fixed percentage of a bank's risk-weighted loan book, okay? So these are the options. We'll have to decide which one is the correct one, but firstly understand the context of this question. So recently what has happened that the Reserve Bank of India, RBI, okay, has said that it does not want to activate this counter-cyclical buffer, that is triple CB. It says that there is no need and requirement of triple CB at this point of time, and that is why they are not activating it, okay? And whose decision it is? It is the decision of the RBI. They have said that, okay? Next, we'll understand about this triple CB. So we come to know that the Reserve Bank of India has proposed the triple CB for Indian banks in the year 2015 as part of its Basel III requirements. You need to understand what is Basel III requirements, and we'll discuss about this. Let us finish this. And it hasn't actually required the triple CB to be maintained, keeping the ratio at 0% ever since then, okay? Now, second, it says that following the Basel III norms, central bank specifies certain capital adequacy norms for banks in a country, okay? So there has been certain capital adequacy norms for all the banks in the country, and then the triple CB is a part of such norms and is calculated as a fixed percentage of a bank's risk weighted loan book, okay? Now what are the norms you are talking about, okay? What norms are we talking about? Let us discuss that. So here it is mainly concerned about this Basel III norms, okay? What is Basel III norms? So basically Basel III is an internationally agreed set of measures which is developed by whom? The Basel Committee, and hence the name Basel III norms, okay? Basel Committee has developed on banking supervision. These are the norms which is about the banking supervision in response to the financial crisis that actually occurred between the year 2007 to 2009. Like we know, that was a period of recession, right? And that is why this was done in response to that financial crisis. These norms were prescribed, okay? Recession and financial crisis of the year between 2007 to 2009. The measure aims to strengthen the regulation, supervision and risk management of banks, okay? So what actually happens is, understand this. If you talk about a business cycle, okay, let me just explain this in short. If you talk about a business cycle, okay, what happens is there is depression. There are 4 phases. One is depression, other one is recovery, okay, other one is recovery. The third one is boom, the boom period of the business or the economy, and the next one is, the last one is the recession. Okay, last one is the recession. So a business cycle or the economy has like these 4 phases. There's depression, there's recovery, then comes the boom period, and then comes the recession. So what is prescribed? That depression is the worst phase, okay, worst phase for a business or an economy, we can say, and boom is the best healthiest phase of the economy, we can say, right? So what happens is, for a phase like depression, and for the phase like recession, okay, during the boom period some amount is saved, okay, because it was noticed that rather than helping the country, helping the nation, the banks themselves were struggling during the financial crisis between the year 2007 to 2009, and hence this initiative was taken to have some buffer capital, okay, which can be utilized during these tough phases of the economy. I hope this is clear to you. I am trying to convey in the simplest form possible. So that is all about this Basel III norms, okay, that was prescribed in it, okay. And when is the capital raised? For the tough period, the capital is raised during the boom phase of the economy. Like I told you, the boom phase is the healthiest phase where the economy is good, everything's running smooth, okay, and then the capital will be raised to deal with the phases which is like recession and depression. I hope this is clear to you. Now we'll go back to the question and try solving it. So if we check this question here, I hope the idea must have been clear to you, that a decrease in the value of an asset over time due to wear and tear. Is that triple CV? No, this is wrong. The policy of a government by which it adjusts the tax rates and spending levels of influence to influence the national economy. No, this is also wrong. It is an account that a bank holds on behalf of another bank. The funds in this account are for foreign counterparts. No, nothing. That is not the case. The last statement here says that it is a part of Basel III norms and is calculated as a fixed percentage of the bank's risk-weighted loan book. Of course, this is correct, okay, like we studied. It is coming from the Basel III norms. It is a part of it basically, and we know what is Basel III norms and what has been prescribed in it, okay. I hope this is clear to you, and that is all about this counter-cyclical capital buffer, which is triple CP, okay. Next, we'll move ahead with the next question. Yeah, so now let us begin with question number 4. Question number 4 here says, with reference to National Mission on Edible Oil Palms, NMEOP. Okay, consider the following statements. Statement number 1 says it is a central sector scheme. Second says special focus will be on the Northeast region and the Lakshadweep Islands. So, Northeast region and Lakshadweep Islands. The proposed scheme will subsume the current National Food Security Mission Oil Palm Program. Okay, so these are the statements, and we have to decide which of them are correct. Okay, I hope this is clear to you. Firstly, let us understand the context of this question. The context has been popularly in news. If you are thorough with the newspaper reading every day, so you must have come across this news which says that the world's largest producer and exporter of palm oil is facing domestic shortages, which is leading to price controls and export curbs. Okay, so this is the context of this question here. Next, if we talk about this particular scheme, we discover that the scheme, it is basically centrally sponsored scheme with a special focus on the Northeast region and Andaman and Nicobar Islands. Okay, so Northeast is fine, Andaman and Nicobar Islands is fine. So they have a special focus here. In the question it was mentioned Lakshadweep, which is wrong. So that statement is wrong. Also in the question it was mentioned that it is central sector scheme, whereas it is centrally sponsored scheme. Please make a note of this particular point, right? It is centrally sponsored scheme. Now I hope you are aware about the difference between the central sector scheme and the centrally sponsored scheme. Okay, we have discussed it in the previous sessions also. The central sector scheme is the scheme which is 100% funded by the central government, okay, whereas centrally sponsored scheme is the schemes which are obtaining certain fundings from the central government, but certain fundings of the state governments is also involved. So both are funding it together jointly, but central sector is single-handedly done by central government, sponsors centrally sponsored is by the states and the central government both. Okay. If we talk about this particular scheme, it is centrally sponsored scheme. That means the state and the government both will be funding it, right? I hope this is clear to you. Next we see that Next we see that the financial outlay of rupees 11,040 crore has been made for the scheme, out of which rupees 8,884 crore is the government of India's share, and rupees 2,196 crore is state share, and this includes the viability gap funding. And this is the reason, like I told you, the government's share is mentioned, okay, and also the state's share is also mentioned, and that is why this becomes centrally sponsored scheme. I hope this is clear to you, right? Now, so furthermore, if we study about this particular scheme, we see that this particular mission hopes to increase the palm acreage by an additional 6.5 lakh hectares by the year 2025-2026 and grow production of crude palm oil to 11.2 lakh tons by the year 25-26 and up to 28 lakh tons by the year 2019 and 30. Right? This is the first time the center will give oil palm farmers a price assurance, which is industry mandated to pay the viability gap funding of like 14.3% of crude palm oil prices. Okay, so that has been a commitment by the center. Okay, and also the proposed scheme will subsume the current National Food Security Mission oil palm program. Okay, so that is the case. Now we will figure out the right answer based on the discussion that we already did. So with reference to National Mission on Edible Oils, oil palm, consider the following statements. It is centrally sector scheme, which is wrong. We clearly saw that it is central sponsored scheme. Right? We saw that. Next is special focus will be on the Northeast region and Lakshadweep Islands. It is wrong. Northeast region and the Andaman and Nicobar Islands. Okay, this statement is wrong. The proposed scheme will subsume the current National Food Security Mission oil palm program. Yes, this is true. So statement 2 is incorrect. Statement 1 is also incorrect. Only 3 is the right answer. Okay, so C becomes the correct option. Only third statement is correct. Okay. Next, we'll go ahead with question number 5 here. It says that with reference to the Indian polity, consider the following statements. Adjournment motion is introduced in both the houses of the parliament. Okay. Adjournment motion needs the support of 50 members to be admitted, and a no confidence motion can be moved only in Lok Sabha. Which of the statements given above is correct? We need to understand this. So firstly, let us understand about this. So adjournment motion is regarded as an extraordinary device because it interrupts the normal business of the house and needs the support of 50 members, okay, to be admitted in the parliament. Now it is adopted to draw the attention of the house to a recent matter of urgent public importance having serious consequences, okay. So any matter which is of immediate importance can be taken up by using this adjournment motion, and the normal business of the house can be interrupted in that case. Okay. Now as it involves the element of censure against the government, Rajya Sabha is not allowed to make use of this option. Why? Because Rajya Sabha is the permanent house, right? I hope you know that. So being Rajya Sabha being the permanent house, this is not applicable here. Okay. Next, a no confidence motion demonstrates to the head of the state that the elected parliament no longer has confidence in the government, and in India the Council of Ministers is collectively responsible to Lok Sabha and it remains in office till it enjoys the confidence of the majority of the members in the Lok Sabha. Thus, a motion of no confidence is moved to remove the Council of Ministers and oust the government from the office. Okay, that is one reason, like I said, that it is only applicable for Lok Sabha. It is not applicable for Rajya Sabha. Okay, I hope this much is clear to you. Now, one thing I want you to pay attention to is be clear with adjournment. Okay, be clear with these three things: adjournment, adjournment sine die, and adjournment motion. Okay, so these are the three things. I don't want you to get confused with these three: adjournment, adjournment sine die, and adjournment motion. These are different. Keep them separately in your head. It is nothing to do with each other. Okay, so make sure you go through it, read it carefully, and figure out the difference amongst all these. Okay, now we'll go back to the question and check the right answer here. So it says that adjournment motion is introduced in both the houses of the parliament. Both the houses of the parliament. Wrong. It is only introduced in the Lok Sabha. Okay, the lower house of the parliament. The second is adjournment motion needs the support of 50 members to be admitted. Yes, this is absolutely a condition for that. And a no confidence motion can be moved only in Lok Sabha. Yes, this is also true. Yeah. Okay. So statement number 1 is wrong, 2 is correct, and 3 is correct. So D is the right answer. Okay, I hope this is clear to you. Now starting with question number 6 here. Question number 6 says that with reference to the Sinatra doctrine, consider the following statements. One is it is the policy of non-interference in the internal policies of other countries. The second says that its implementation and popularization were part of new political thinking by Mikhail Gorbachev. Okay, now we need to mark the correct statements here. So understanding about this particular concept, we see that the Sinatra doctrine can be assumed or summed up as a policy of non-interference in internal policies of other country and let them manage their affairs in their own way on their own, right? So this is true about it. The phrase was coined on 25th October 1989 by Soviet Foreign Ministry spokesman Gennady Gerasimov. Okay, so it was a phrase that was coined by whom? The spokesperson of the Soviet Foreign Ministry, that is Gennady Gerasimov. Now the implementation of the doctrine was part of new political thinking by Mikhail Gorbachev. Okay, Mikhail Gorbachev. I hope this is clear to you. Next we see that it is replaced by the Brezhnev doctrine. It is replaced by the Brezhnev doctrine now, which was put forward or put forth by Soviet leader Leonid Brezhnev in the year 1968 and called on the Soviet Union to intervene, including militarily and in countries where socialist rule was under threat. Okay, so then it was finally replaced by which of the following doctrine? It was replaced by Brezhnev doctrine. This is something you can make a note of. Okay, so Sinatra doctrine was replaced by Brezhnev doctrine. Okay, make a note of that. So I hope this thing is clear to you. Next we take a look on the options here and let us try to figure out the correct answer. First says it is the policy of non-interference in the internal policies of the countries. Yes, this is true. This is true about that doctrine, and its implementation and popularization were part of new political thinking by Mikhail Gorbachev. Okay, this is also true. So both statement 1 and statement 2 both are true. You can further read about both the doctrines, the Sinatra doctrine, what did it propose, and also the next Brezhnev doctrine, what did that propose. Okay, so you can just go through it. Furthermore, if we talk about question number 7 here, it talks about Drupad. Okay, so with reference to Drupad, consider the following statements. It says that it is associated with Carnatic music. Second statement says that Drupad is traditionally performed by women. Third statement says that instruments like tanpura are used in it. So we need to understand which of the statement is correct here. So firstly, let us explore some information about Drupad. So we come to know that Drupad is basically associated with Hindustani classical music, okay. Hindustani classical music is primarily vocal centric, and the major vocal forms associated with Hindustani classical music includes Drupad, along with Khayal, Ghazal, Dhamar, Tarana and Thumri, okay. So it is nothing to do with Carnatic music. In the question, one of the statements said that it is associated with Carnatic music, which is wrong. It is associated with Hindustani classical music, right. Now, Drupad style of singing is traditionally performed by men, and main instruments used are Tanpura and Pakhwaj. The lyrics sung in Drupad are in a medieval form of Hindi and typically heroic in theme or in praises of particular deity, okay. So that is the type of lyrics it involves. Let's go back to the question and try to explore the right answer here. Firstly, it said that it is associated with Carnatic music, which is wrong, and we came to know that it is associated with Hindustani music, right. Drupad is traditionally performed by women. This is wrong. It is performed by men. Instruments like Tanpura are used in it. Yes, Tanpura is used in it. So, first statement is incorrect, second statement is incorrect, only third statement is correct. So, the right option is B. B is the right answer, right. Next, let us go ahead with question number 8 here. It says that with reference to Stand Up India scheme, consider the following statements. It says that it aims to promote entrepreneurship among all the economically marginalized people. Second says that it facilitates bank loans between 10 lakh and 1 crore. Third says that loans under the scheme are available for only greenfield projects, okay. We need to mark the correct option. The codes are given here. But firstly, let us understand about this scheme and the context. So, the context is that recently the 6th anniversary of Stand Up India scheme is being celebrated, and that is why we are facing this question. The 6th anniversary of which scheme? The Stand Up India scheme, okay. Next, if we see that here, the Stand Up India scheme was launched by the Prime Minister Narendra Modi on 5th April in the year 2016. The scheme was launched to encourage entrepreneurship at the grassroots level, especially for promoting economic empowerment and employment generation among whom, not all, but only for SC, ST and women entrepreneurs. In the question, it was mentioned that it was giving facilitation to all the entrepreneurs, which is wrong, okay. Second, it says the Stand Up India scheme facilitates bank loans between 10 lakh and 1 crore. Yes, this is absolutely right. Then to at least one scheduled caste or scheduled tribe borrower and at least one woman per bank branch for setting up a greenfield enterprise. Yes, this is true, for setting up a greenfield enterprise or working for some entrepreneur who is working on a greenfield project, okay. Loans under the scheme are available for only greenfield projects, like I told you, and this was the statement which was given in the question also, hence the statement is correct. Greenfield signifies that in this context, the first time venture of the beneficiary in the manufacturing of services or trading sector, okay. I hope this is clear to you. Let's get back to the question here and mark the right answer. So, about the scheme, it says that it aims to promote entrepreneurship among all the economically marginalized people, all, which is wrong. It actually it aims to promote women entrepreneur, okay, SCs and STs. Basically, it is facilitating to these groups. Second, it says it facilitates bank loans between 10 lakh to 1 crore. Yes, this is correct. Loans under the scheme are available only for greenfield projects. This is also correct, okay. So, statement number 1 is wrong, 2 and 3 are correct. 1 is wrong, 2 is correct, 3 is correct. So, B is the right answer, okay. I hope this is clear to you. Going further with question number 9 here. Question number 9 says that consider the following statements. NatGrid is the integrated intelligence grid connecting database of core security agencies in India. It was proposed in the aftermath of the terrorist attacks on the Indian Parliament in the year 2001. It is exempted from Right to Information Act 2005. We have to mark the correct statements. So, let us study something more about NatGrid. Okay. So, NatGrid is an ambitious counter-terrorism program. Okay. It collects and collates a host of information from government database including tax and bank account details, credit card transactions, visa, immigration records, itineraries of railway and air travels. Okay, the combined data from NatGrid will be made available to 10 central intelligence agencies. Okay, that is how they will counter terrorism, that is to help them assist the mission of countering terrorism. It was proposed in the aftermath of the terrorist attack on Mumbai in the year 2008. So, it was not because of the aftermath effects of the attack on Indian Parliament in the year 2001, rather it was proposed in the aftermath of terrorist attacks in Mumbai in the year 2008. Next we see that NatGrid is exempted from the Right to Information Act 2005 under the subsection clause 2 of section 24. Okay. I hope this is fine. Let's go back to the question and figure out the right answer here. So, NatGrid is an integrated intelligence grid connecting database of core security agencies. Yes, this is true. It was proposed in the aftermath of the terrorist attack on the Indian Parliament in the year 2001. No, it was because of the attack because of the aftermath of Mumbai attack, okay, in the year 2008. So, this statement is wrong. Second is, it is exempted from Right to Information Act 2005. Yes, this is also true. So, statement number 1 is correct, statement number 3 is correct. 1 and 3 only are the right option. C is the correct answer. Okay, I hope this is clear to you. Question number 10 here says that with reference to Helena missile, consider the following statements. It says that it is a third generation fire and forget class anti-tank guided missile ATGM system. It is mounted on the Advanced Light Helicopter ALH and it has all-weather day and night capability, and a variant of Helena weapon system called Dhruvastra is being inducted in the Indian Navy. Okay, so we need to mark the correct statements here. Let us see the context of this particular question firstly. So, the context is that recently India has successfully flight tested Helena, which is an anti-tank guided missile ATGM in Pokhran. According to the Defence Research and Development Organization, that is DRDO, it is one of the most advanced anti-tank weapons which is present in the world. Okay, so that has been the context of this question. Let us study more facts about this particular missile. So, we come to know that Helena is a third generation fire and forget class anti-tank guided missile ATGM, and it is mounted on ALH, that is Advanced Light Helicopter. It is mounted on ALH. Now, the system has all-weather day and night capability and can defeat battle tanks with conventional armor as well as explosive reactive armor. Next, the Helena missile can engage targets both in direct hit mode as well as top attack mode, right? Now note that Helena weapon system is being inducted in the Indian Army. What is it? What did I say? That Helena weapon is inducted in Indian Army. The other variant, that is Dhruvastra, the variant of Helena weapon system called as Dhruvastra, is being inducted in Indian Air Force. Okay, I hope this is clear to you. So, Navy is nowhere here. Indian Navy is nowhere here. Helena is for Indian Army, and Dhruvastra is for Indian Air Force. Please keep that in mind. That could be a tricky thing to remember. Okay, let's go back to the question and decide the correct answer here. So, firstly, let us eliminate this one, the fourth one. Please read that. A variant of Helena weapon system called Dhruvastra is being inducted in the Indian Navy, which is wrong. Okay, it is inducted in Indian Air Force. Keep that in mind. Next is, it is a third generation fire and forget class anti-tank guided missile ATGM system. This is correct. It is mounted on the ALH. This is correct. It has all weather day and night capability. This is correct. And fourth statement is wrong. Okay, so 1, 2, 3 are the correct option. 1, 2 and 3 only. B is the right answer. So, well, that was all about today's discussion of the questions of the week, but before leaving, I'll drop a question for you guys here. Please make a note of the question and comment the right answer in the comment section below, okay? So, the question here says that with reference to State Energy and Climate Index, okay? We are talking about the State Energy and Climate Index. Consider the following statements. The first one says that it was launched by the Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change. Okay. The second says that the states have been categorized based on size and geographical differences as large and smaller states and union territories. The third statement says that the index is based on 2019 and 2020 data. Last statement says that Gujarat, Kerala, and Punjab have been ranked as the top 3 performers in the category of smaller states. Okay, so please make a note of this question, and you have to tell that which of the statements above are correct. So you can use the following codes 1 2 2 3 1 3 4 1 2 3 4, whether it's A, B, C or D. Okay, so you can just go and comment the right option there. Well, I hope you guys would surely do that, but before taking a leave, like I always say that let's know together, let's grow together, let's learn together, and let's crack together. So this is me, Twinkle, signing off, sending you all the best wishes for your preparation for the upcoming exam and for all your future endeavors. You guys take care. Thank you. See you back.